Bill, thank you so much for being here. Oh, and how many days do you have now?
Today is 43.
43 days. You didn't start using until you were 41.
Correct.
How old are you now?
49.
49, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's been a long 8 years.
No alcohol or drug issues until you're 41 years old.
Correct. I was a casual drinker, but never a drug user, really. I tried pot a handful of times, but that really never was a choice of mine, or a drug choice of mine.
And when you did it for the first time, what was it like?
The first time I tried it, the way it was offered to me was smoking it. And the first hit off the pipe, it was on. Because it was unlike anything I had ever experienced with alcohol or with pot or anything. I thought I had greater clarity, and that I could be the king of the world, kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio standing on the bow of the Titanic. But unfortunately, it was the Titanic.
Yeah, good point. How ironic.
Yeah, truly.
Can we get a show of hands of who is a recovering meth addict in the audience? I am as well. I think I heard some sighs in the audience when you said that when you took that first hit, you knew it was on.
Very much so.
You know, we have a somewhat normal life, and all of a sudden it goes downhill. I remember for myself, I did the ecstasy and the cocaine, and then when it got to meth, it was like, oh, this is a lot cleaner, and I am a lot more clear. That lasts for like a minute, being clear, and the king of the world. King of the world to like looking out the blinds, you know, the day after.
I always left the lights on, or I wanted, yes.
That's another show, isn't it?
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
You know, we all have these stories, and we're lucky to be able to laugh about them now. You know, the peephole, you know, mark around the eye because you're at the peephole in the hotel room, the whole. You know, these things are things we can laugh about today.
The tree people.
The tree people, but again, it goes back to these people who are living in their homes and they're shut out and they're scared and they think they can't get through it. I mean, you knew how long that drug took you in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, I had a roommate for most of the time that I've been here in Southern California, but the last 6 months before I came into the recovery center, I was on my own in a studio near downtown LA, and nobody was there to say no. But that's when the real isolation set in, and I did have the lights on and everything, but it got to the point where I would not leave my apartment until after dark. I did not want to walk through the lobby of my apartment building for fear of, you know, who would see me and judge me and condemn me, and but the worst part of it was that I was condemning myself, you know, and I never thought that 43 days later I could be experiencing the happiness that I am. And I know that this is just the beginning. Yeah. I have no doubt of that.
Couldn't stop shooting the Dilaudid.
You're shooting Dilaudid.
Shooting Dilaudid, mixing it with benzos, using the Dilaudid. You know, you need more and more and more, and you know, plus it takes you to such a dark place. You know, there I was with a really great job, and you wake up one day and you just don't want to live.
It's been 58 days?
58 days.
A lot's changed.
A lot has.
I saw just the look of terror on your face. I mean, you didn't know, I mean, you kind of knew what was going on, but you didn't know what you were getting yourself into. You hadn't been exposed to any support before.
Well, I didn't know what to expect. Never been through a treatment program before.
You just knew that you had to do something.
Right.
What were your thoughts about what treatment was going to be?
I didn't have any preconceived ideas, but I was just worried more, how am I going to get there, because the insurance had lapsed. I didn't have the money for the insurance anymore, and you know, how am I going to get this done, because I knew I needed to do it.
I mean, these programs are everywhere, and it's not about money and insurance, it's just about finding it. I know that you were a teacher.
High school.
High school. You were shooting up like in the bathroom, or was it at work, or could you control it so it was during the day?
I don't even know that I was controlling it. It was controlling me. Maybe at first I controlled it, but I would have to get a fix before I went to work, to teach kids in school, and I would have to get a fix during lunch at work so I can continue or finish the day. And it wasn't even to get high or party or enjoy myself anymore. It was so I can function. I had to have it.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
It always does, though.
Right?
Chasing that high for 6 years, you know? That
Exactly.
first time's always so glorious, and then it just gets
You spend the rest of
messy
the time
from there.
chasing it.
And the program that you went to, how was that for you?
I was just like, I just felt like such a loser, and that I was never going to get it. And the person who's my sponsor now, Mercy, she came up, put her hand on my forearm and said, you know what, it's going to be okay. And we're going to take care of you. And for some reason, that comforted me. I needed somebody to tell me that it was going to be okay, because I didn't know. I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think I was going to make it this time either. I thought it'll be another try and another fail. And that wasn't the case.
That's wonderful. That's a really important thing for people to understand, especially if they're concerned about going into a facility because they have these preconceived ideas of what it's actually going to be like. You know, I think that the media has made it look hokey. You know, everyone's sitting around holding hands, and no one's going to actually reach out and say it's going to be okay. Or there's people at treatment facilities that have been through this themselves, so they're able to share, you know, based on their own experience. It's amazing when you look back and you realize it happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen.
Hi.
Hi.
How do you know when the time is right for an intervention?
When the time is right is now. Do what you got to do, and that would be getting your loved one help.
Would you mind coming up so we can ask you some more questions?
Sure.
Come on up.
She thought she could do it herself. She didn't need to go to a recovery center.
Who is this loved one?
It's my daughter. This has been ongoing for 5, maybe 6 years.
What would you say to her right now?
I love her. And I want the world for her.
Can you come down here?
It's nice to know that there's other people that feel exactly what you're going through.
We have a package here for you, and if you accept, then you can actually go in today. You know, there's no time like the present. What do we have to lose at this point? You know, what do you say? What do you think?
I'll take it.
Right on.
I'm ready to start my life.
So much love and Mick. So it's been about 40 days, but altogether you have about 60 days of sobriety, correct? For people who are out there struggling, they need to know that they can put together a couple weeks. I didn't think I could put together a couple weeks. I didn't think I could put it together a couple days. I couldn't even go grocery. Who could eat, you know, with crystal meth? But if I can remember correctly, you were actively using for 5 years, or was it longer or shorter?
About 5.5 years. It was mostly meth. That was my choice, and that was all I tried to get my hands on. At first I was smoking it and eating it and snorting it, but it eventually got to me shooting up. And that was something I told myself I would never do. I was shooting up and I would go to sleep afterwards. And that's not a good sign.
And what I want to know is, you know, how your life has changed right now.
It's a much better feeling to know that I have trust and my family and good friends to be in my life, and it's my life again. I have control over it, and it's a really good feeling.
So, now you're moving into possibly becoming an interventionist. Are you currently helping people right now?
Yes, I actually have someone here with me today.
What's the story there?
He's from the East Coast, from Pennsylvania, and he's, I'm going to say he's family because he's related to family. And we've known each other a long time, and we have the same disease, and we have the same drug of choice. And, you know, I know what he's going through, and I know how hard it is. And I know how hard it is because, you know, you destroy everything in your life. So now you don't have any money. Now you don't have any insurance. How are you going to get treatment? How are you going to get help?
Did he reach out to you?
Yes, him and his family reached out to me, asked what I knew, what I could do, how I could help, and I want to say.
So he came out?
He's here.
Okay, so what is his name?
Todd.
Todd, would you like to come up here for a minute? Would you mind? So you know Lauren?
Yes.
You called her for help?
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, basically, I've pretty much lived a destructive lifestyle for the past 20 years of my life. And it's only getting worse. And I have a little boy that, needs me. And, I lost my father to addiction. And I'm trying to not let history repeat itself, pretty much. I had several attempts at treatment, failed attempts, on the East Coast, so, I knew I couldn't do it over there. It was just not gonna happen. I'd go away for like 30 days, 60 days. I did a couple years in jail, but as soon as I got out, I went right back to it. I also sold drugs too, so it was like a means for me to get money, and monkeys can't hold bananas, so inevitably I would go right back to it. And I finally came to the realization that in order for me to, get sober, I have to take myself out of my element, so.
That's very smart.
I figure I live in New York, PA. Why not go to California?
How old is your son?
He's 8.
He's 8, and you have a wife?
Common law, we're not married, but we've been together for, 13 years. She's not gonna marry me right now, What, smart woman would, you know what I mean? But she's waiting there for me. There's hope. Trying to remain as positive. I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like sitting in front of a studio audience right now, not the way I feel physically, but this is what I have to do.
I think everyone in that room is sitting up here with you right now. They're all feeling it because they've been there. What we have here is a package for you. And the package is long-term treatment, where you can go in tonight and you can start your detox right away, so you can start to feel a little bit more comfortable and see a physician and get some follow-up medical care and group therapy, individual counseling, family therapy. We can do it over the phone if they can't come to visit. It's, intensive therapy throughout the day, the first month, and then we'll move into an extended care situation where you have a little bit more community integration. You learn how to be an upstanding member of society. You do some volunteer work, get some job skills, work on your self-esteem, give back right away the second month. All it takes is willingness from you, willingness to take the direction, and we're here for you. But we're willing to do this because we see that there is hope. We want to reach our hands out to you, as people did with us. And all you got to do is just, say you want the help and you're willing to do whatever it takes.
Thank you.
What do you think? Do you want to get sober?
Absolutely.
Do you really
Absolutely.
willing
With all
to take,
my heart, absolutely.
to put all your always aside? It's been 28 days, and I'd like to welcome Todd out to the stage. How are you feeling?
Great. Feeling really good today. Feels good not to have to get up in the morning and run around. I usually get up around 6. I pray. That's something I was told to do by my sponsor. Get up, pray, look at my gratitude list. That's another thing I was told to do. And I just get up, pray, go eat breakfast, maintain personal hygiene, and take a shower and stuff, then go eat breakfast, meditate on, some positive thoughts for the day, and then go to group. And we have a 7 o'clock a.m. meeting that just us clients hold. And so we go to that to kind of set the tone for the day. And, just start it off on a positive note rather than on a negative note.
So not having to wake up and figure out how you're going to find the drug so that you're just not sick. Not even high, but just not sick.
Just not sick.
And now, totally changed. You're up early, 4:30 in the morning. That is a little early, but you're getting on your knees and you're doing a gratitude list, and it's pretty amazing. It's a lot different than the person that was sitting here 28 days ago.
Yeah.
What was the transition like when you went there? I mean, did it take a long time for you to feel like you were part of the program?
No. Actually, for me, it was a pretty good transition because I been through programs before, and this time I was ready. This time, you know, I was willing to do anything that they told me to do to change my life. You know, other programs I've been to, I either did it for the court system, or, you know, to please my parents or my girlfriend, the mother of my child, or, you know, outside, you know, people and stuff. But for me, for this time, it was for me. I was truly tired of living a meaningless existence. You know, I used to call myself being a good dad because I would take my son to football practice or pick him up from school and stuff. But, you know, I was there at night. He see me wake up. When he woke up in the morning, I was there, but I wasn't there. And I was just tired of, you know, I want to be a positive role model for him. That's one of my driving incentives, is that I can be there for my son.
This is a letter that I got from your 8-year-old son, Max. Thank you for helping my daddy get better and making him a better person. Thank you, Mike, from Max, Todd's son. And that really wasn't really for me, that's really for you, because you're doing all the work. You know, we're just doing what people do in recovery, but you're doing all the work. You know, they're the ones that are up worried while we're out there high. But when you start to turn around and they see that glimmer of hope, it's amazing how quickly they are willing to accept you back in their life. Now they're on the East Coast, correct?
Yes, they're in Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, we have a little surprise for you. You were going to have them come out for Christmas, but we thought it would be great for them to come out for Thanksgiving. So we have 2 people in the audience, I think, here, 2 supporting people. Are they here? Come on down. And come on up here.
Don't be shy. It's okay. Okay. Like your hair.
Yeah, you can take that back. How are things going on your end?
It's hard having him so far away. It's hard, but it's how it had to be, because he couldn't do it on the East Coast. I think that's one thing that makes it better, is because he's far away and he had a one-way ticket and he can't come home. Not until he's better, and I have hope. He's doing a great job. He sounds great on the phone. He's taking it seriously. It's hard for my son and for myself, but we're waiting, and hopefully.
You've done your homework too. You know, that letter that you sent me talked about the books that you've read and how you've been struggling with this for a long time, and it's almost like raising a child as well. And you know, I hope that people really can turn around and become miracles. You know, it seems right now that 28 days isn't that big of a deal, but it so much is. You know, when you see this and you can know and trust that someone is looking out for you and they have your back. And that's what's great about any treatment center. You go into a treatment facility and there are professionals there that put their arm around you and say it's going to be okay. We talked about this last time. People need that little boost of hope. They need to know that they too can become a miracle.